One morning, I woke up to discover that I couldn't see anything. My world went dark because everything I could do before, I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't play with my friends the way I wanted to. I couldn't read my books the way I used to. So we went to the hospital for treatment to find out what was wrong. And I was diagnosed of having blood vision in both eyes, and they recommended hydrocaine injection, which at that time was not available in Nigeria, my home country here. So they recommended that we go over to the UK for medical intervention. And thankfully, we were able to gather some funds to go over there for treatment. And after 2 years, I had four major surgeries, after which I came back to Nigeria and continued treatment. Now, when my treatment continued here, I had to do six more surgeries where I lost one eye completely. Afterwards, around 2010, I was recommended to go to India also by my doctors for further checkup and treatment, where I ended up having four more surgeries to making a total of about 14 eye surgeries. Now, all through this period, my academic life took a turn that was a bit difficult. Starting from my junior secondary school, I had friends that would carry my notes home, to copy them for me in the largest text possible, just to make sure that I see. But even when they get back to me with the notes, I couldn't still see anything. So what I started doing was I would just get the notes home, get people to read it out to me, to my hearing. But this was not an effective system because what if I wanted to read at night? Who would I wake up to read out those notes for me? Because I was literally at the mercy of the availability of others. So I could only get as much as they were available to read out to me. But at that point, my academic performance was not good, but when I got to the higher level, secondary school, senior secondary school, I this intuition came to me to just have my notes recorded into my phone instead, since I had a way of seeing my phone. So instead of having people read out to me and repeating the notes to me, I just asked them to record once into my phone so that I could access it at any time. And that was better for me because I could now wake up in the night to read my notes, like music. I could play it 10 times if I wanted to repeat it, and repeat it until I'm able to assimilate it. And ever since that intuition came, I started performing in class, and at the end of my secondary school, senior secondary school, I even ranked fifth in my class in a school where I was the only visually impaired person, and that was such an achievement for me. But I got scared getting to the university, knowing that when I get there, I will have chunks of handouts to read, and I might not get people to be available to read it out for me. But thankfully, I got admission into Federal University of Technology, Mina, here in Nigeria, to study computer science. All right, so when I got there at the beginning, thankfully, four of my classmates came and they offered to help me at the beginning of the semester, like to always gather my notes and read it out to me. So they were four. They would get, let's say, if I had 8 courses I was doing, they would share it among themselves and then come to record for me daily, just 15 minutes, 20 minutes of their time, just so that I can have access to my notes on my phone. So that continued, and my first year was very good. I had a result of 4.2 average as against a 5.0 maximum. So, but second year, when I got to second year, it was difficult because now the lecturers would make the notes available only few days to the test, and they will bring like 5 or 6 handouts, with chunks of pages. So how would I get people to record that amount of notes for me? When would they even be done to give it to me for me to read? All right, because usually what usually takes people that are sighted 2 hours to assimilate, it takes me like 9 or 8 hours to assimilate by hearing. So I didn't have time. My academic performance started going down, and I had no assistive technology all through this period. That was the only assistive technology I had, to have my notes recorded on my phone. But as I continued like that, even the time adjustment, I had no time adjustment in my exams. So when everybody has 30 minutes to write a test, I also have 30 minutes. to write a test. And as it was, since my junior, senior, and senior secondary school, even at the university, I would just read from my phone. When I come to write the test or exam, the teachers or lecturers will assign the students to sit down with me to read out the questions to my hearing, after which I would tell them the answer, then they will write it down for me. So that was how I did all through. So the only adjustment I had was that when it's time for the teachers to collect their sheets, 30 minutes, as they have said, they will collect my sheet last. So they will go collect every other person's own, then come to me last. That was the only adjustment I had. There was only one lecturer in my second year that said, okay, everybody has 30 minutes for this test, but Divine, you have, you can submit whenever you are done. All right. And in that course, I got an A just because I had enough time to write my exams. That's how I went through university, finished, and I got to do a 1-year internship at National Eye Center, where I was asked to recommend assistive technology for the blind patients that were coming. But it was strange to me because I never knew any assistive technology, only the recording on my phone. But that stirred up a passion in me, and I asked a friend to help Google what assistive technology was. Then we discovered that there were softwares that were available for blind people. And I got like 2 or 3 of them, and I came, and all through the internship, all I was doing was recommending those applications to the patients, whether or not they needed it, because that was the best that I knew. But after that 1 year of internship, it stirred up a passion in me to learn more about these technologies, and thankfully, one day, because I was able to have access to a Zoom meeting where I met the wife of a renowned Nigerian, Mr. Ope Olu Akinola, who has been training blind persons in Nigeria for the past 25 years in the use of assistive technology. So she was so interested in meeting me and having me come over to be trained by them so that I could be more productive, and so that I could also expand the scope of the services I was offering to blind persons, peradventure and being called back to work after the internship. And after 12 days of that training, when I went over, I was trained for 12 days in the use of assistive technology. That was when I discovered the screen reader, JAWS, NVDA. That was when I was able to type on Microsoft Word. That was how I was able to browse the internet, work on Excel, and all these things, navigate through my system. Because all through the time I studied computer science, I couldn't see the computer. I didn't even know that the computer could had magnifier. All right, that would have even been some form of help for me through the 5 years, but I didn't know about it until I had graduated. All right, so I used those softwares, and they helped me. That was 2021. All right, and within that 1 year, when I finished the training for 12 days, I got back to my locality and I said, okay, people on my side, where I live, don't have to live like this. There were many blind people that didn't know anything about assistive technology like myself. So I had to go back home, look for blind people to just train them and tell them that, hey, there's assistive technology. You can actually do things by yourself, independent of others, And I was able to train some few people and restore hope back to them, as my own hope too was restored when I met assistive technology. And within that 1 year, I had access to a scholarship to offer the CPAC exam, that's the CPACC exam, to become a certified professional in accessibility core competencies. So out of like about 700 applicants, only 40 were picked globally, 4 Nigerians, of which I was the 3rd. Then at the end of the whole period of exams, I was recognized as the first Nigerian to have that CPAC certificate out of over 2,576 professionals all over the world. Now, this was only possible because I got exposed to assistive technology, and my life changed. I got this achievement within 1 year of being exposed to assistive technology. And as the theme of Microlink PC in UK is, anyone can overcome any barrier to communication, achievement, and thriving once they have access to the right tools and support. So that was my story, and that is my testimony. And I believe that anybody can become anything as long as they are given the right tools and equipment to function and to thrive productively. Thank you very much. And my name is Divine Gift David Usman.